Repetition seems to be a manner in which the Lord uses to both reinforce and to instill important principles that he wants his servants to remember. And so it seemed to be with Joseph.
In addition to repeating the same message from the previous visits, after the third message, Moroni gives a warning to Joseph Smith.
Satan would try to tempt me, in consequence of the indigent circumstances of my father's family, to get the plates for the purpose of getting rich. This he forbade me, saying that I must have no other object in view in getting the plates, but to glorify God, and must not be influenced by any other motive than that of building his kingdom. Otherwise I could not get them.
The interviews took the entire evening. Thus, when the angel Moroni left, the new day was dawning, and Joseph had a responsibility to go out to the fields to work with his father. He was exhausted, and when he was trying to work, his father noted, "Something's wrong with you, Joseph. You need to go back to the house and rest." And Joseph didn't argue. He made the journey back to the home, but when he's climbing over a fence in an orchard, he didn't even have the strength to go over the fence, and he collapsed on the other side. When he came to, he looked up, and there's the angel Moroni. A fourth time, he repeats to Joseph the same message that he'd given the night before. But he reminded Joseph that he'd also given him some instructions that he was to inform his father about the visits. And so he relates to his father what had taken place, the messages that the angel had given to him. And when he does, Joseph Smith Sr. believes and accepts everything that his son told him.
Joseph's father was a deeply religious man, and yet he'd not been so actively involved in the local churches as had, for example, his mother. Yet, when Joseph's father gives such a positive response, it surely must have been encouraging and helped lighten Joseph's burden and encouraged him to go forward and to do as the angel had instructed. Not only this, but the father's support then led to others of the family who would, all of the family, in fact, who would give their support.
Joseph left his father and made the 3-mile journey south to a hill of considerable size, now known as the hill Cumorah. He climbed up near the top, where he had seen in vision that the plates were secured on the west side, just down a little from the very crest of the hill. And when he was there, there is a stone lid that was placed over the box in which the plates were secured. So he obtained a branch as a lever and got the dirt out from underneath and lifted the lid off, and behold, there are the plates. Now, he reached in to grab them and received a violent shock. 3 times he tried to obtain those plates.
Joseph would cry out, "Why cannot I obtain the plates?" And then he heard a voice that simply declared, "Because you've not kept the commandments of God." He would turn to then see Moroni once again there with him on the hill. And one may wonder, was Joseph ill-prepared for this event? Hardly. It seems that this is the beginning. Moroni is going to instruct Joseph that this is a time now for him to begin to be tutored and to be taught. And beginning that tutoring, he'll be shown a vision of the powers of darkness as well as a vision of the glories of God. So as Moroni would say to him, that never again would Joseph have to be deceived by the power of the evil one.
Moroni comes and is a profound educator to the prophet Joseph Smith. He teaches him about the things that will happen, part of Joseph's ministry, what's going to be expected of Joseph. He teaches Joseph about divine concepts that will have an eternal impact on families. Not just Joseph's family, but all of the families who become members of the Lord's kingdom. He teaches Joseph about the nature of sacred things. And Moroni is, I guess, what you would call the great tutor of the prophet Joseph Smith during this early phase of the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Moroni's visits were indeed a fulfillment of the vision seen by John the Revelator of another angel flying through the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel. Surely the plates of gold which Moroni brought to Joseph Smith contained the everlasting gospel, and this was the fulfillment, in part at least, of that vision of John.